And good evening once again. We begin in Ecuador. That's where the country's president, Rafael Correa, has called for people to respect and defend the democratic system as opposition forces press ahead with plans for a national stoppage on Thursday. An 8-day march by opposition sectors of Ecuador's indigenous movement has now arrived just south of the capital of Quito. Leaders of Conaie announced an indigenous uprising, as they called it. But the march has been smaller than organizers expected, and some local chapters of Conaie, as well as other indigenous and Afro-Ecuadorean organizations, have refused to support the mobilization. And the Bolivian president, Evo Morales, called on Ecuador's indigenous movement not to let itself be used by the right wing.
Yo quiero hacer un llamado de verdad a los compañeros dirigentes indígenas de Ecuador.
I want to make a sincere appeal to our fellow indigenous leaders in Ecuador, as well as to Ecuadorian workers. Let's not become tools in the hands of the right. As presidents, we may not always be able to make every demand. Sometimes that's just not possible. I understand that. I certainly still have debts to many social sectors. But apart from the priorities, we have to choose this project instead of that one. The most important thing is to ensure the overall movement of the economy. For example, right now, we are being affected by the slump in international prices for oil, gas, and minerals.
And Bolivia's first indigenous leader pointed out that social movements should be careful not to become part of the attempts to destabilize progressive governments in Latin America.
These days, they cannot easily carry out military or civilian coups. Instead, their alternative is a soft coup, especially against presidents, governments, and peoples that have taken a clear stand against empire. Sometimes the international right or the empires uses human rights or some social dispute to try to undermine these processes of deep change that are underway. And sometimes they use direct threats, as they have against Venezuela. Before it was military coups and dictatorships. Now it is the neoliberal model itself that we have to confront.